We had owned the house for 9 days when the previous owner called me close to midnight. I almost ignored it. But something made me answer. He didn't say hello. He didn't say my name. He whispered, like someone afraid of being overheard. "Please don't turn off the camera yet." My stomach dropped. We hadn't installed any cameras. I hadn't told my wife about the strange device I found. And I definitely hadn't told him. When I asked what camera he meant, he went silent. Then he said, "You already checked the cloud, didn't you?" That's when I understood. He never really moved out. We bought the house after losing 3 other offers, so when this one went through, it felt like a relief more than a win. Quiet street. Families. Nothing flashy. Just normal. The previous owner, Mark, was polite in that distant way. He answered questions quickly, avoided small talk, and kept checking his phone during the final walkthrough. I assumed he was eager to be done. He mentioned the security system in passing. "It's old," he said. "I disconnected everything already. You'll probably replace it anyway." That sounded reasonable. I didn't think twice. The first week went by quietly. We were unpacking, arguing about furniture placement, trying to make the place feel like ours. Still, something felt off at night. Not fear. More like the house was alert. I kept telling myself it was just the adjustment period. On the 5th day, I went into the garage to reset a tripped breaker. While moving some boxes, I noticed a small Ethernet splitter taped behind a shelf. It was dusty but warm. That bothered me. I unplugged it and set it aside, assuming it belonged to the old system. But that night, our Wi-Fi slowed down noticeably. The next morning, it was back to normal. I didn't connect the dots yet. 2 nights later, I couldn't sleep. My wife was already out, breathing evenly beside me. I opened my phone and logged into our router settings, mostly out of boredom. That's when I saw a connected device I didn't recognize. No name. No manufacturer. Just active. Uploading data. I stared at the screen longer than I should have, waiting for a rational explanation to appear. A printer. A thermostat. Anything. Then I checked the usage history. The uploads spiked at night. Almost every night. I felt stupid for not telling my wife immediately, but I didn't want to sound paranoid. I decided I'd investigate quietly the next day. Check the attic. Check the vents. Find something normal. That plan fell apart when my phone rang at 11:47 p.m. Unknown number. I answered. The voice on the other end was Mark's. Quieter than I remembered. "Hey," he whispered. "I was just wondering, did you change anything with the internet?" I asked him why he cared. There was a pause. Then he said, very carefully, "You didn't turn off the camera yet, right?" That's when the fear finally set in. I didn't answer him right away. The word camera kept echoing in my head. I asked him where it was. Mark didn't respond immediately. I could hear his breathing, shallow and uneven, like he'd already said too much. "It's nothing serious," he finally said. "Just something I forgot to disconnect. It's easier if you leave it on for now." That's when I hung up. I locked the bedroom door, even though it felt ridiculous. My wife stirred and asked who called. I told her it was a wrong number. I hated myself for lying, but I needed to understand what was happening first. The next morning, I took the day off work. I started in the places no one checks. Air vents. Smoke detectors. The top shelves of closets. Everything looked normal. Too normal. Then I checked the attic. Tucked behind the insulation, facing the master bedroom wall, was a small black camera. No blinking light. Hardwired. Clean. Recently maintained. I didn't touch it. I went back downstairs and opened my laptop. I searched the camera's serial number. It led me to a cloud-based security service. Still active. Logged in. The email attached to the account wasn't mine. It was Mark's. What made my hands shake wasn't the live feed. It was the history. Time-stamped clips. Weeks long. Even after the sale. Short videos. 30 seconds at a time. Night footage. Day footage. The bedroom. The living room. The kitchen. Us. I closed the laptop and sat there for a long time, listening to the house hum around me. Then my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Mark. Please don't report this. I can explain. Just, don't shut it off yet. That was the moment I stopped feeling scared. And started feeling very, very careful. I didn't respond to Mark's text. Instead, I called a lawyer friend and asked the simple question. If someone keeps surveillance access to a house after selling it, what does that count as? He didn't hesitate. Felony-level invasion of privacy. Possibly more, depending on intent. That was enough. I documented everything. Screenshots. Login timestamps. IP addresses. I unplugged nothing. I changed nothing. I let Mark believe he still had access. 2 days later, I filed a report. The officer who came to the house didn't react much at first. He'd seen stranger things. But when I showed him the cloud account, the saved clips, and the fact that the account owner was the previous homeowner, his tone changed. They asked me to leave the camera running a little longer. Mark called again that night. This time he wasn't whispering. You don't understand, he said. That system, it's tied to other things. If you shut it down, it flags. I told him it was already too late. There was silence. Then the call dropped. 3 weeks later, I got an update. When investigators accessed Mark's account fully, they found footage from before we moved in. Not just of us. Of multiple owners. Multiple families. Different houses. He hadn't been watching one home. He'd been watching a pattern. Mark was arrested quietly. No headlines. No viral story. Just a court date and sealed charges. We had the camera professionally removed. The walls patched. The account transferred as evidence. Sometimes, late at night, I still think about how calmly he asked me not to turn it off. Not because he was scared of being caught. But because, for the first time, he wasn't the one watching anymore.